The Middle East woke to a new reality on November 12, 2024, one marked by the unmistakable roar of ballistic missiles. The early morning calm was shattered by the thunderous sound of rockets piercing the sky, a stark reminder of the region's ever-present volatility. Israel's Ministry of Defense, housed in the heavily fortified Kirya complex in Tel Aviv, came under direct attack. The Kirya, often considered the nerve center of Israel's military operations, was suddenly thrust into the spotlight. The weapon of choice, Iranian-made Qadr-2 missiles, a significant escalation in both capability and intent. These missiles, known for their precision and destructive power, represent a new level of threat in the ongoing conflict. This was not the pinprick of drone warfare but a deliberate show of force, aiming to strike at the very heart of Israel's security apparatus. The impact was immediate and devastating, sending shockwaves through the region. While details remain shrouded in the fog of war, one thing is clear: the rules of engagement have changed. The use of such advanced weaponry signals a shift in tactics, one that could have far-reaching implications. The immediate aftermath brought a flurry of activity. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, navigating through smoke and debris to provide aid and assess the damage. Israeli Prime Minister politician's name vowed a swift and decisive response, addressing the nation with a message of resilience and determination. "We will not be cowed by these attacks," he declared. "Our resolve is stronger than ever." While world leaders scrambled to contain the fallout, emergency meetings were convened, with global leaders discussing the potential ramifications and seeking ways to de-escalate the situation. The attacks, attributed to group responsible for the attack, represent a dangerous turning point in the region's volatile security landscape. This group, known for its radical ideology and ruthless tactics, has now demonstrated its ability to strike at the heart of a nation's defense. They underscore the growing reach and sophistication of non-state actors, who are increasingly equipped with advanced military technology. This development poses a significant challenge to traditional state-based security measures, as well as the vulnerability of even the most heavily defended targets. The attack on the Kirya complex serves as a stark reminder that no target is truly invulnerable. This is not just about the damage inflicted, but the message sent. By targeting such a high-profile and heavily fortified site, the attackers sought to send a clear signal of their capabilities and intentions. By targeting the Ministry of Defense, the attackers sought to demonstrate their ability to reach deep inside Israel, to challenge its sense of invulnerability. This act of aggression is a bold statement, one that cannot be ignored. To challenge its sense of invulnerability. The sight of the Israeli flag at half-mast, a symbol of national mourning, underscores the gravity of the situation. The coming days and weeks will be crucial in determining whether this attack marks the beginning of a broader conflagration. Military operations are likely to intensify, with both sides preparing for potential escalation, or a dangerous but ultimately isolated incident. Analysts are closely monitoring the situation, weighing the likelihood of further attacks and the potential for a wider conflict. The world watches with bated breath, hoping for a resolution but bracing for the worst. The use of Qader-2 missiles marks a distinct shift in the nature of the conflict. This shift is particularly evident when compared to the drone tactics employed in previous attacks against Israel. Drones, while increasingly sophisticated and versatile, are often associated with targeted strikes and surveillance missions. They have become a staple in modern warfare due to their ability to gather intelligence and execute precision attacks with minimal risk to personnel. However, their smaller payloads inherently limit their capacity to inflict widespread damage, making them more suitable for tactical rather than strategic objectives. Missiles, on the other hand, particularly ballistic missiles like the Qader-2, carry a far greater destructive potential. These weapons are designed to deliver large warheads over long distances, causing significant damage upon impact. The Qader-2, with a range of over 1,000 miles, is capable of delivering a substantial warhead. This capability poses a severe threat, not only to military installations but also to civilian populations, potentially leading to high casualties and extensive infrastructure damage. This shift towards more powerful weaponry signals an expansion of group responsible for the attack, capabilities, and a willingness to escalate the conflict to a new level. The use of such advanced missiles indicates a strategic decision to increase the pressure on their adversaries. The transition from drones to missiles also carries important strategic implications. It reflects a change in military tactics, suggesting a move towards more conventional forms of warfare that involve high-stakes, high-impact operations. This evolution in tactics suggests a higher level of planning, coordination, and possibly external support. The complexity of deploying ballistic missiles requires sophisticated logistical networks and technical expertise, which are often beyond the capabilities of non-state actors alone. The acquisition and deployment of ballistic missiles necessitates significant logistical networks and technical expertise. This raises questions about the potential involvement of state actors in arming and supporting the attackers, providing them with the necessary resources and knowledge to carry out such sophisticated operations. This development has undoubtedly sent shockwaves through Israel's defense establishment. The introduction of ballistic missiles into the conflict represents a new level of threat that requires immediate and comprehensive responses. It exposes vulnerabilities in their existing air defense systems, which were primarily designed to counter smaller, lower-flying threats such as drones and short-range rockets. The Qader-2's long range and substantial payload challenge these defenses, necessitating a re-evaluation of current strategies. The Qader-2 attack may well force a reassessment of Israel's defense posture. This could lead to increased investment in advanced missile defense systems capable of intercepting high-altitude, long-range threats. Additionally, it may prompt a more aggressive stance towards perceived threats, including preemptive strikes and heightened military readiness to deter future attacks. The Kirya complex, nestled in the heart of Tel Aviv, is a sprawling and highly fortified area that plays a crucial role in the nation's governance and defense. It is more than just a collection of government buildings. The Kirya is a symbol of Israel's resilience and strategic prowess. It is the nerve center of Israel's defense establishment. Within its heavily guarded perimeter lie the headquarters of the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, the Ministry of Defense, and other critical military and intelligence agencies. These institutions are the backbone of Israel's national security, coordinating efforts to protect the nation from a myriad of threats. By striking at Kirya, the attackers aimed to cripple the very command and control structure of the Israeli military. This was not a random act of violence, but a calculated move to undermine Israel's defense capabilities. The choice of target speaks volumes about the strategic calculus of the attack. It was a clear attempt to disrupt the operational efficiency of Israel's military forces. It was not simply about inflicting casualties or causing physical damage. The attackers sought to create a ripple effect that would resonate throughout the entire defense establishment. It was a deliberate attempt to sow chaos and disruption at the highest levels of the Israeli military. The goal was to create confusion and hinder the decision-making process at a critical time. A successful strike on Kirya, even if only partially effective, could disrupt communication channels, hinder decision-making processes, and potentially delay or even paralyze Israel's response to future threats. The impact of such an attack could be far-reaching, affecting not just immediate military operations, but also long-term strategic planning. The attack on Kirya also carries a powerful symbolic dimension. It is an assault on the very heart of Israel's sense of security and its image of military invincibility. It strikes at the heart of Israel's sense of security and its image of military invincibility. The psychological impact on the public cannot be underestimated. By penetrating the defenses of such a high-value target, the attackers aim to erode public confidence in the government's ability to protect its citizens. This erosion of trust can have long-lasting effects on national morale and unity. This attack is a stark reminder that in modern warfare the front lines are often blurred. The nature of conflict has evolved, and the battlefield is no longer confined to distant borders. The battle is no longer confined to distant borders. It can reach deep into the heart of a nation's most secure locations, targeting the very institutions that guarantee its safety and survival. This new reality requires a re-evaluation of security strategies and a renewed focus on protecting critical infrastructure. The Qader-2 strikes on Kirya could have significant, albeit indirect, implications for the Israeli Air Force, IAF. While the IAF itself was not directly targeted, the potential for disruption to its command and control structures cannot be ignored. Kirya houses key planning and operational centers for the IAF, and any damage to communication networks or intelligence gathering capabilities could hamper its ability to conduct air operations effectively. The IAF prides itself on its speed, precision, and technological superiority. It relies heavily on real-time intelligence, sophisticated command and control systems, and the seamless coordination of various units. Any disruption to these critical elements, even temporary, could degrade the IAF's operational effectiveness. Moreover, the attack could force the IAF to divert resources towards bolstering domestic defenses, potentially impacting its ability to conduct offensive operations. This could have implications for Israel's ongoing military operations in the region, including its efforts to counter Iranian entrenchment in Syria. The Qader-2 strikes serve as a wake-up call for the IAF, highlighting its own vulnerabilities in an evolving threat landscape. While the IAF remains a formidable force, it must adapt to a new reality where its command and control infrastructure is no longer immune to attack.